Bad decisions rarely feel wrong when they are first defended. They feel reasonable. A quiet kitchen late at night. One light above the sink buzzing softly. A receipt folded too many times on the counter, edges worn thin. Someone stands there longer than necessary, eyes fixed on the paper, feeling a dull pressure rise behind the sternum. The breath pauses for half a second. Then it steadies. The explanation arrives before the doubt has time to finish forming. The mind does not rush to correct the mistake. It rushes to protect the person who made it. Identity moves first. Logic waits outside the room. The question shifts quietly, without announcement. It is no longer about whether the decision worked. It becomes about whether the self can afford to look unstable, inconsistent, careless. Stability is chosen almost immediately. This is how defense replaces evaluation. Reasons assemble themselves smoothly, generously. Context is added, intentions are highlighted. Alternatives blur at the edges. Memory adjusts emphasis so the decision appears inevitable, even principled. The body relaxes as the narrative firms up, as if something fragile has been secured. From the outside, it looks like stubbornness. From the inside, it feels like self-respect. And once self-respect is involved, reversal feels less like correction and more like collapse. This is the state where mistakes stop being examined and start being guarded. Number 10. A man stands beside a purchase he quietly regrets, his hand resting on it as if ownership itself could stabilize the feeling. The showroom light reflects cleanly off the surface. His jaw tightens, then releases. His eyes stop searching. This is post-decision rationalization. After a commitment is made, the brain generates explanations to justify it. Commitment creates psychological tension. The mind seeks resolution, not accuracy. Cause leads to effect. Justification reduces discomfort without changing the decision or its outcome. And that's where the defense quietly begins. The reasons feel original, thoughtful, even careful, despite arriving only after the choice was locked. The decision settles into place, protected by explanation rather than evidence. Number 9. A woman scrolls through feedback about a choice she made. Her finger moves quickly past criticism and slows on praise. The screen glow softens. Her breathing evens out. This is selective exposure bias. Information is filtered to support existing commitments. Contradictory input increases internal strain. Supportive input reduces it. Cause produces effect. Attention narrows toward material that preserves emotional balance and self-image. That's the quiet filter at work. The absence of criticism begins to feel like validation. What is avoided slowly stops feeling relevant, even if it was once decisive. Number 8. A man explains a failed outcome by calling it a lesson that had to happen. His voice stays calm. His posture does not change. This is outcome reinterpretation. Results are reframed to protect perceived competence. Failure threatens identity and credibility. The brain edits meaning instead of revisiting cause. Cause leads to effect. Narrative revision restores dignity without correcting behavior. And that's the rewrite. The mistake is no longer an error. It becomes purposeful in retrospect, as if it were designed that way all along. Number 7. A woman feels irritation rise when her decision is questioned. Her smile tightens. She swallows once before responding, tone carefully controlled. This is ego defense activation. Critique is processed as threat, not information. Threat detection suppresses openness and curiosity. Cause produces effect. Defense replaces listening before understanding can begin. That's where exchange ends. The conversation stops being about the decision itself. It becomes about protecting the self who made it. Number 6. A man emphasizes how much effort his decision required. He lists the stress, the time, the sacrifices. His shoulders drop slightly when he finishes. This is effort justification. The brain assigns value based on invested cost. High effort demands high meaning. Cause leads to effect. Sacrifice inflates perceived correctness regardless of outcome. That's the internal bargain. Admitting error would invalidate the struggle, so the struggle becomes proof the decision was right. Number 5. A woman repeats the same explanation for her choice to different people. Each time it sounds smoother, more confident, more convincing. This is rehearsal reinforcement. Repetition stabilizes belief. Neural pathways strengthen with use. Cause produces effect. Repeated justification begins to feel inherently true. And that's how it sticks. Familiarity replaces scrutiny. The explanation survives not because it holds up, but because it has been practiced. Number 4. A man avoids imagining what might have happened if he chose differently. When the thought starts, he switches tasks quickly. His fingers stop hovering. This is counterfactual avoidance. Alternative outcomes increase regret and self-blame. The brain limits simulations that threaten emotional equilibrium. Cause leads to effect. Unchosen paths fade from awareness. That's the closed door. Without visible alternatives, the decision starts to feel inevitable rather than chosen. Number 3. A woman ties the decision directly to who she believes she is. Her posture straightens as she speaks. Her words sound settled. This is identity fusion. Choices become extensions of self-concept. Threat to the decision becomes threat to identity. Cause produces effect. Defense escalates beyond logic. That's the binding point. Changing the decision would require changing the story of the self, and that feels too costly. Number 2. A man dismisses new evidence with absolute language. No qualifiers, no pauses. His breathing remains steady. This is belief rigidity. Certainty blocks revision. Rigidity reduces cognitive load and emotional risk. Cause leads to effect. Stability is chosen over accuracy. That's the lock. The belief hardens, not because it is correct, but because it feels safe to stop moving. Number 1. A woman lies awake remembering the first moment she defended the decision. The clock ticks evenly. Her eyes stay open longer than she expects. This is self-consistency bias. The mind prioritizes appearing consistent over being correct. Consistency preserves internal order. Cause produces effect. Defense persists long after usefulness ends. That's the final seal. The decision survives not because it works, but because it has been defended for too long to release. Defending a bad decision does not feel like deception. It feels like balance being restored. The nervous system settles, the story regains shape, the self feels intact again. That relief is powerful enough to override accuracy again and again. What disappears is not truth all at once, but range. Options narrow. Revision begins to feel dangerous. The mind learns that standing still is safer than turning back. Over time, defense becomes automatic, triggered before evidence is fully processed. Awareness does not demand confession or correction. It reveals the moment protection replaced evaluation, the instant a choice stopped being examined and started being guarded. That moment is quiet. Explanations sound reasonable. Confidence feels earned. The body relaxes, and the decision, no matter how flawed, gains armor made of familiarity. What is defended the longest is rarely what was best. It is what became hardest to let go of.